A married couple in their late 30s is celebrating their friend's birthday. The three of them are at the park and they have brought a pinata with them. But this is not an ordinary pinata. This one has a particularly nasty trick up its sleeve. The couple had been friends with Sarah since college. She was more like a... And now, they were... After some consideration, Ben and Anna decided on a surprise. They invited all of their other friends and secretly booked out the local park for the day. They hired a bouncy castle, a face painter, a balloon artist, and of course, they bought a really cool pinata. It was shaped like a giant gold coin purse. Inside of it, they put some candy and even a few $100 bills. They figured that this would be a really fun game for the adults. On the day of the party, everything went according to plan. There were a few close calls where Sarah almost caught on to what they were planning, but thankfully, she was none the wiser. Just before sunset, everyone showed up. The couple made sure to position themselves so that they could jump out from behind the bushes and yell surprise at the perfect moment. And when Sarah finally rounded the corner and saw all of her friends waiting for her with smiles on their faces, she couldn't help it. Her friends cheered and applauded and immediately began showing her the presents they had brought. It was then that Ben stepped forward with a big grin on his face. He handed Sarah a stick and pointed towards the bonita. "We also have a little game for you," he said with a wink. "Whoever hits the tail of this guy gets whatever's inside of it." Sarah nodded, not knowing that the two of them had already agreed on who was going to go first. Anna pushed Ben forward. He took a deep breath and then he swung. The stick connected with the pinata, but it didn't break open. Disappointed, he tried again. This time, aiming for the top once more. The stick made contact, but the pinata still. It was clear that whoever had filled this thing up had done such a good job that it was going to take a few solid hits to break it open. Ben handed the stick back to Anna. "Okay, my turn," she said. She took a deep breath and focused on the target. With all of her might, she swung the pinata. "Oh, I need to get closer," she said as she took another step forward. Now, standing right next to the pinata, she swung again, but instead of hitting the tail, her stick connected with the lock on the front. The pinata gave way. But before anyone could react, a bunch of gold coins shot. They rained down onto the ground, glinting in the last bits of daylight. Ben and Anna stared in disbelief at the coins. "What the?" he began. "How did we not know?" she finished. As their friends crowded around, picking up the coins, they explained how they had found the pinata online and thought it would be hilarious to put a bunch of fake coins in. Little did they know that the thing had an actual lock, and once they had broken it, the coins slid right out. Everyone burst into laughter. The mood was lighthearted, and though the couple felt a little embarrassed about their failed attempt, they were ultimately relieved that no one was upset. However, what they hadn't noticed was that one of the coins was actually real. It had fallen out, but no one had seen it. As the evening wore on and the moon replaced the sun, the party slowly came to a close. One by one, the guests said their goodbyes. Soon enough, it was just the three friends. They sat on a nearby bench cleaning up the trash and talking about how great the day had been. I don't believe how many people we managed to sneak into that park without Sarah seeing us. Anna said with a smile. Me? Neither. I was worried she was going to catch on, but thankfully, she didn't. Ben replied. The three of them continued talking until they heard a twig snap behind them. Startled, they turned around to see a man with a flashlight in his hand. "Can I help you?" Anna asked nervously. The man looked at them for a moment. "Nope, sorry. I just saw a couple of your balloons over there, and I thought maybe one of my kids had snuck over here without me noticing." "Guess not," he said with a chuckle. "No worries. We're just heading home ourselves," Ben replied. They gathered up the remaining decorations and walked towards the exit. The man stopped them. "Hey, did any of you guys happen to find a coin around here? My son lost his lucky 4-leaf clover coin earlier today. It's very important to him, so if you found it, I'd be happy to pay you a reward," he pleaded. Ben and Anna exchanged glances. They knew exactly which coin he was talking about, but they also knew that if they admitted to finding it, their friend would probably be pretty upset. On the one hand, they didn't want to disappoint him. On the other hand, they didn't want to ruin their friends. Surprise. Sorry, but we didn't find anything. And the man nodded slowly. All right. Well, if you do happen to find it, please let me know, he said before turning around. As soon as they were out of earshot, the couple started arguing. You lied, Ben said angrily. We promised Sarah that we would unlook inside the pinata until she had taken a swing or two. You know, the whole point was to make her feel special. On her birthday, Sarah. I know, but that kid needed our help. His mom probably had no idea that he had lost it. I mean, what kind of monster is that? Anna snapped back. Are you kidding? I think I didn't try to convince him that I didn't do it. I told him I had no idea what he was talking about. He didn't believe me. Ben and Anna walked in silence for a bit, each deep in thought. Eventually, Ben broke quiet. So, what are we gonna do? He asked. Anna knew exactly what she had to do. We're gonna go back. She turned around and headed in the direction of the park. When they got back, it was completely dark. The playground equipment loomed over them like a skeleton. A cold wind blew through the trees, making the branches. As they approached the spot where they had been sitting earlier, they saw that there was a small crowd gathered. What the? In front of them, a man was holding a coin in his hand. Is that the clover coin? Yeah, Ben replied hesitantly. We found this on the ground, near the pinata, Anna added quickly. The man looked at them skeptically. Are you sure? Because I distinctly remember my son losing it right here. Well, if you lost it right here, it must have gotten lodged in between the bars. Sorry, but it's really not our fault. Ben said. Actually, I think I see where it might have come from. She walked around the side of the playground. Sure enough, it had gotten stuck in a small gap. She reached in. Then she walked back to the man and held it out to him. He took it, his face breaking into a wide grin. Thank you so much. You guys are the real heroes here. Come on! Let's get my boy! He said before running off. Ben and Anna watching him go. They had managed to avoid being blamed for ruining the pinata, but they still felt bad about it. Do you think Sarah will notice? Anna asked quietly. Maybe. But if she does, you can always tell her that we were trying to save a kid's birthday. Ben replied with a shrug and walked back home. Even though their night had started out so poorly, they knew that they had done the right thing. The next day, they received a text from Sarah. Just wanted to say thank you again for yesterday. It was the best birthday ever. It read, then came a long list of emojis, including a winking face, a money sign, and a pair of